All net. All net. What up, y'all? All net. All net. All net. With Mike Logic and Ideal. What up, y'all? Swish.
There was a lot of swishing going on. Unfortunately, it wasn't on the Chicago Bulls side. You could say they got smoked. They were roasted.
Torched.
They were deep fried by the Phoenix Suns today.
Embarrassing basketball.
132 to 113. It's a rough one, Mike. Days like these, I really question my relationship with you.
Like, should I turn on something else? Like, that's the question you're asking yourself.
And then as a sports fan, you're like, oh no, what if I missed the great comeback that everyone's talking about?
And that's what I was hoping for.
You're hoping to get one of those?
I was hoping, yeah, for one of those come from behind victories that they'll be talking about for ages. But
no dice, no luck.
No, not tonight.
I heard the fans was out there clamoring. They was asking for that All Net podcast. If you don't know what it is, I'm your boy Ideal.
Yeah.
Joined alongside none other than Mike Logic. This is the All Net podcast. Shout out our sponsor, Shine Native Entertainment, True Chicago Sports Fan, 606 Media.
Oh yeah.
Myself and Mike Logic, we love everything Chicago. We especially love basketball. Our passion for that goes way back since we first met.
Way back since the haystack.
You know what I'm saying? But with that, we love the Bulls and whatnot. So today was a tough one, Mike.
I didn't see a lot of passion from the Bulls.
Not a lot of fun. They weren't a lot of fire and passion kind of guys today.
No, and the only person that could stop Devin Booker was Monty Williams, because Devin only played 31 minutes and put up 51 points. An incredible display.
3 quarters, this man put up 51 points. I mean, that is the lead story. 20 or 25. Have you ever been cooking like that ever in your life?
I'm sure I was.
I mean, 25 shots in the game. He was guy. The green light was on it.
The ultimate green light. I used to get the ultimate green light.
Really?
But never like that. He dominated from 3 different levels on offense. Incredible Kobe-like footwork. He's obviously a disciple of Kobe. You can see it in the way he plays the game. His step backs, his fadeaways, his takes to the basket. You know, and I never want to see a player get hurt. But if somebody's torching me like that, I'm going to get a couple fouls on him.
I'm sure there's someone out there, I think Jordan Cruz can attest. He said, we are terrible. We suck. Don't got nothing. It's a darn shame.
But we were okay versus Utah. We were okay. We're like, yeah, this is a great win for the Chicago Bulls. And then they come out with that lackluster performance.
And you really, let's talk about that, because you would think it's not like this wasn't the back and back here, back to back. So what the heck?
And me and Griffin were talking about this while the game was going on, and I wanted to get your take. Is this on Billy for these guys not being ready? Because regardless of the coaching, these guys still have to get up and play a game. It doesn't matter if the coach is giving them motivational speeches or not. It's their profession. It's what they love to do, supposedly. Like, I just don't get it, how you come out with that effort, how you don't show on screens when you have one of the best scorers playing against you in the NBA in Devin Booker, but your big men, Vooch and Andre Drummond, who we've seen come out on shooters, they just laid back in the weeds and they let Devin Booker just fucking go off. And this is the After Dark version of All Net Podcast. So put the kids to bed. There's going to be some cuss words flying. But you get what I'm saying? Idea, like, these are just principles of basketball, especially defense, that you learn at a young age. So it's like, how much of this has to be coached into you? You know, we all know what Devin Booker is going to do.
We got True Chicago Sports Fans checking in. No other frustrating, no other way to see it. I guess you're disappointed by the effort.
Hella disappointed.
It's the notorious,
especially coming off that win. You know, I didn't think that it was going to turn into this. I thought the Bulls had a chance of beating the Phoenix Suns, who are now 15-16. The Bulls' record is now 9-12. I thought we were going to get a much more spirited performance, I guess. I was wrong.
Things happen like that, Mike. Sometimes you get your heart broken out there. Can we be remiss if we didn't mention DeAndre Ayton going off over 30 points?
He had a nice game.
30 points, 15 rebounds. That'll get it done in 31 minutes.
Vooch couldn't do anything.
So it was literally 2 guys that beat you, really. They combined for 81 points.
Yeah.
Everyone else just chip in. We don't need all the gas money to get there, but if everyone puts a couple dollars in, we got a full tank.
What did the GOAT do? Campaign.
How's it go?
I can't do it.
He got 8 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Devin Booker out there.
It was the Devin Booker
points.
show.
51 points.
Landry Shamet had some nice threes, uncontested threes. I don't understand how the Suns got all these uncontested threes. By the way, the Bulls in the first half from the 3-point line shot 7.7%. Ideal.
Well, you're such a pessimistic over there. They did finish the game with a high of 16%. They were 425 from behind the 3-point line. It's just that's the game right there, honestly.
So Damian says it's not effort. We keep saying effort. It's not that. Guys were playing hard. I would beg to differ. Because like we talked about, if you're playing hard, then you're showing high on those screens. You're not giving Devin Booker those shots. That's effort. Landry Shamet was getting open shots. It has to be a 48-minute effort. It is effort.
Everything it really just comes down to if you look at the difference between the 3-point. Phoenix finished with almost 46% behind the 3.
And I was telling you, just by looking at this team, you would think they're one of the worst.
Yeah, didn't you tell me?
Chicago Bulls are one of the worst 3-point shooting teams, but they're not. They're top 15. They were 13th until this game, and the Phoenix was only at 9. And I think Phoenix is only a percentage higher at 37. The Bulls are at 36.
I think we got someone drawing the iron over here. I mean, Jordan Cruz. He's been wanting to talk about Zach, but I believe what Damian's alluding to is that your second best player can't seem to shoot more than 40% in a game, and it's got to be Zach, right?
Oh yeah, and he's not right. Zach LaVine is not right. He is basically a 3-point shooter. Is what we can see because I'm watching him trying to dribble and get past people. He doesn't have any one-on-one moves. He doesn't have the stop and go, which he had prior to the injury, it seemed like, or last year, where he could stop on a dime, change directions. It's just all a line to the basket. That's it. So I don't know. I don't know what we can talk anymore that we can talk about Zach LaVine. I mean, he's just not playing well right now. There's no other way to slice it.
Finished the night with 21 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists.
Yeah, he had 21 points, but
in a game like this, you got to ask yourself,
1 for 6 from the 3.
Some people put up these points, and it's how much was it in garbage time? You got to ask yourself there too. So. Rough.
We were watching Devin Booker, me and Jordan. We were watching him. We were like, man, if only Zach could do that. Because you remember when we were having these conversations maybe a couple of years ago, who would you rather have, Devin Booker or Zach LaVine? We've had these conversations.
We did. I do remember
that
these
conversation is long gone.
That's not even up for it. I'd be like, shut your mouth. We really got to get into it. Then is he the best 2-guard in the league?
He might be.
Who else?
Who's better than him?
Who?
Devin Booker, who's better than him?
Who you think, Mike? I'm asking you.
I think Devin Booker.
There's no one. Who would be second then? Who's your rounding out your top 5? I want to pick the brain of one Mike Logic. Make sure you follow him on all social media at MICLOGIK. You're tuned into the All Net Podcast. Who you got, Mike?
Man, you got Devin. You got DeMar. I like Jaylen Brown a lot, but I would rather have Devin Booker over Jaylen Brown.
Okay.
It has to be Devin Booker.
Yeah.
For sure.
A nice little nugget. I think they were alluding into it in the post game as well about just how he's able to casually step back into that point guard role while Chris Paul's really out. Whenever he needs to facilitate, as he did, I think everyone sees the 51 points, right? And you're like, holy cow, he really went off. But he also has 6 assists just in 3 quarters.
Yeah, and Damian's saying Dame. And I kind of see Dame as like a point guard / shooting guard, or else I would put Dame in there. I would put Dame above DeRozan.
I always seen him Dame.
But DeRozan's more of like a small. I don't know.
DeRozan's the small forward to me. So I mean, you're cutting here and there.
Devin Booker's the best shooting guard. The best.
Is he probably what? Is he? Let me ask you now that you're thinking about it. He went to Kentucky. Is he is the best one that's come out of Kentucky recently?
Like how recently?
I'll give you the last 10 years. 10 to 15 years.
Man, Shai Gilgeous is really nice.
Would you rather have Shai or Booker?
Look at Shai's numbers.
All right.
Not just his scoring. He does it very unselfishly. He doesn't always have to be the scorer. He can facilitate, and he still gets 30. And he's a better defensive player. Well, Devin Booker played defense too. Man, that's a tough one. I would probably take Devin Booker.
This is what happens when you get blown out 132, 113.
You're talking about the other team.
And if you look at the score, you're like, there's only 19 points. Why are they? Nah, they were getting that thing handed to them from the moment they walked on the court, pretty much.
Yeah,
this was out of hand.
They were down 20 at half. They cut the lead down a little bit, but the Suns weren't ever worried about losing this lead. Jordan saying stop. So clearly it's not close, Devin Booker. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty, just going along with the bit, Jay. But yeah, Devin Booker for sure. And, got to see how we bounce back from this. Because it doesn't get any easier. And I know the Golden State Warriors are having a little bit of a tough sledding. They're not playing up to expectations, but that... You can come out to Golden State and get your ass whooped again. So, I don't know. If y'all are looking for answers, I do not have them. I'm scratching my head with this squad.
That's why they tune in for the All Net podcast to get that basketball.
So I don't understand why Javonte Green only played 7 minutes. He had a great cut to the basket. Where he I don't know if you remember the play, but he scored on it. He set a pick. He rolled. I would like to see a lot more of that. I would like to see a little bit of his defense out there, but he only played 7 minutes.
I see a little bit more of that, eh? Did you know Devin Booker became one of only 2 players in NBA history to score 50 points on 80% shooting or greater through 3 quarters?
I do now.
80% or greater. Oof. That was an efficient night at the end on the offensive end, wasn't it?
I told y'all from the very beginning of this game when he started going off, I'm like, he's gonna have 60.
Oh my Lord!
He would have had 60 had Monty Williams not sat him.
Yeah, of course. Jordan Cruz is out here. We're gonna get 50 piece by Golden State.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. This guy.
I get it. I get you're upset as a Bulls fan, and it is not fun to talk under these circumstances about the team that we love because they just got their asses handed to them. But a 50 piece, no, Jay, no.
So, I mean, a lot of us have been clamoring because it is kind of a different reversal from last year. If you remember last year, that like you said, they beat up on a lot of tomato cans, and it had like an inflated record of what it really should have been. And against the top teams, they were kind of booty, right? Mm-hmm. And then this year, they kind of been like,
They beat a couple good teams.
And they've been pretty good against some of the solid contenders. But if we go back and look through the schedule, they've gotten blown out by a lot of good teams too, right?
The Bulls are not a good team.
This is like the fourth to I'm already on 2 hands over here where it was a non-competitive game. So with that in mind,
we're 23 games in now. 21. Yeah, 23 games in.
Somewhere around there. I mean, the math, it's on the screen somewhere. They're there. The Bulls right now. Yeah, over here. Yeah, you're good.
So, yeah.
21.
21. I've concluded that this is just not a good team because they're not consistent. Good teams are consistent. So, they really, and they don't have an identity. We don't know. What do they do well consistently? There's nothing.
No.
DeMar DeRozan's going to get his buckets. You can pencil him in for about 25 every game. But other than that, like, defensively, they have off nights. This is one of them where they did not bring that same intensity that they brought against Utah. Different circumstances. Utah doesn't have a player like Devin Booker who can torch them like that, even though Lowry had 24 in the first half. He's not Devin Booker. I'm just very disappointed in how they came out and defended the squad. Not even just Devin Booker, like Mikal Bridges was getting open looks. And I was telling you, I don't think the squad has a player with a mean streak ideal. And I think that's a problem.
Especially on a night like tonight when you allow a guy go for 20-25 from the field.
Yeah, who's going to get up in his grill and make this tough on him? Like, get a little bit physical with him. He was getting open looks at the basket all night, and he was getting there was certain times in the game where he had an open lane to drive, and Vooch just let him go. And it's very disheartening to watch that effort.
Well, all we can do is move on to the next game after this one. I guess you just kind of flush it and see what can they possibly get done against the Golden State Warriors.
Do you burn the tape on this one, or do you study this? Can you learn from this?
I mean, you missed a lot of 3-pointers. I don't
16% overall. Yeah, you went 4 for 25. Caruso was your best 3-point shooter, 2 for 4.
Oh, the pizza man pulled it twice, huh?
You hit 4 threes in a game?
Ugh. Real rough. Oh. This was not a defensive loss. This was an offensive loss.
The score would dictate differently, but yes.
Okay, my apologies, Jordan. He's saying he didn't say they're going to get 50 piece. It was just more if they don't show up, they'll get 50 piece.
What's Damian saying?
When the Bulls shoot well, it slows the game down. They use more clock.
Yeah, but you still can't get towards 132, 113. Like that's still defense. You still let Book get off. And I get it. It didn't matter. Like Jesus could be guarding Book and Book would have got 51 tonight. It doesn't matter who's guarding him. But like we talked about, the bigs could have showed on those screens a little more. I saw Landry Shamet getting open looks. The rotations on the backside were bad. Billy alluded to in the post game we were listening to when Ayton would get the ball, and Vooch would be behind him. There was no backside help, no weak side help. So yeah, you can say that this was not a defensive loss. It certainly will wear some of it though.
Someone else we probably need to talk about. P. Will didn't really have a very strong game.
Oh man, after I made that post about how much he's improved on defense and
2 points, 3 rebounds in 28 minutes. He did a lot of running around out there, son.
And they try to throw everybody at Book, and I felt bad for P. Will because there was some times where I thought he played really good defense, and it's almost like Booker leaned into him a little bit for contact and was able to free up some space. He was able to free up some space, and it's like nothing Patrick Williams could do there. That's just an incredible, superior scorer. But yeah, Pat Will got torched tonight, and I'm sure I'll hear about it. I don't care. I'm still on the Patrick Williams train. This was not a good example of what my guy can do.
I think you just go ahead and flush this one, and hey, he's still only 21 years old, I guess. So he's got a lot of things to work on and grow on.
Relax.
Well, I'm relaxed because I'm about to get out of here. I don't know what to tell y'all. Hopefully next time we see you guys, it's a lot better showing from the Bulls. It's tough doing these ones, to be honest.
These are not fun.
You want to come out here and have a great time and joke it up and laugh it up and what is it? Buying his drinks and laughing at his jokes,
buying his drinks. Yeah, I mean we don't want to come on this show and talk about what the opposing team's player did and how great he played for half the show. But I mean
that's the way it goes sometimes.
This was that type of game where you could only I was getting pissed off, but at the same time I was able to enjoy what Devin Booker was doing offensively, just being a basketball fanatic, and it was one of those type of games. I was pissed, but at the same time just trying to enjoy the performance that was being put on. But you know what? Bring your next game, please.
Well, that's a good thing about basketball. It's not like football where you got to wait 7 days for a game or, obviously around. It jumps. Yeah. Damien, what's your hypothetical question before we get out of here? Just interested in
We
this.
love questions.
Oh, yeah. Our crowd participation is the best. You guys have been great, checking in. Man, certainly your comments. My apologies, Cruz. Who are your top 5 shooters of all time? Man. I mean, we're going to agree Ray Allen.
That's easy.
Ray Allen.
Yep. Number
Steph
1.
Curry.
Well, Steph Curry's number 1. Ray Allen's number 2. For a while, Ray Allen was number 1. That was my guy. But yeah, Steph Curry has definitely surpassed him. So
I don't know. You know what's stupid? Like, people they don't know, man. Back in the day, old Ray Allen, man, he has some hops on him too.
Yeah,
finishing nasty at the rack.
You've seen the size of his calves. That man could jump.
Oh, I don't know about that, Damon. He's asking, I'm curious, at what point does DeRozan enter the conversation regarding top 5 shooters of all time? No, I don't think so. Who we got? We got Curry?
Well, mid-range maybe.
Nah.
But we're not. Clay's definitely.
Clay, I was going to say Clay.
Clay.
And I almost hate to say that damn...
Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
And then the fifth one gets tricky.
I mean, back in the day,
because Larry Bird did not
from about 96 to about 99. The boy was out here
because Larry Bird did not take a lot of threes in his career. So I'm gonna have to give it to Kevin Durant.
Hell no, man, Larry Legend.
I'm giving
anyone that can show up to a shootout with shooters and tell which one of you losers is here to for second place.
I'm giving it to Kevin Durant. Are we talking about? See, this is the problem. Like, are we talking about long distance shooters, or are we just talking about mid range shooters? DeMar's a great mid range shooter.
Yeah, but I feel like most of those guys.
Mike was a great mid range shooter. Why do we only give it to 3-pointers when the mid range is the hard? Because the mid range is
it's in the middle,
but it's not used as much as it used to be because obviously 3 is more than 2.
3 is more sexy.
Yeah. Who would you rather have shooting the ball? Steph Curry or DeMar DeRozan? That's an easy question. I don't care what level it's at. Ray Allen too. But DeMar's...
But now you open up Pandora's box because what kind of shot do I need? Because at the end of the day, it's going to Michael Jordan.
Kawhi's got a really, really good mid-range jumper. I don't see him miss a lot of shots.
Shooting is shooting. If we're going just straight shooters, I mean, yeah, DeMar's got to be up there. He's pretty pure. You know what? I would almost put DeMar under the, you know how in football when they talk about coaches coaching trees, like Andy Reid and everyone that he spawned off of him that gotten head coaching jobs, you really can trace DeMar back to Kobe, back to Mike. It's almost like that same tree to me.
I would agree.
Like all that shooting that they do is that ilk.
Yeah, Damian brings up a good point. We don't really talk about the mid range when we're talking about greatest shooters. It's the deep ball. So I would definitely have to do some research, but off the top, that's what we got.
Good question.
Very good question, Damian. You're right. The mid range is great when it's when you have someone that can be so consistent with it, like DeMar, and like we saw with Devin Booker. Because even like Devin Booker in the previous years, he's a good 3-point shooter. His percentage was like 36%. That's not great. That's good. That's really good. But he was definitely a mid-range shooter that you can rely on to shoot a high percentage. So great question.
Thank you, David. Mike Logic. He's enthralled over here. He's loving it. We don't love the outcome of this last game.
Not at all.
Bulls drop one after defeating the Jazz the other night.
Do your job.
Not a good showing. 132 to 113 All Net Podcast.
Ugh.
Before we get up out of here, Mike, I got a question for you. What were your thoughts on LeBron losing this guy? Let it get a game-winning 3 get hit.
Huh?
The other day.
Say that again?
The other day when the Lakers lost that game.
To the Pacers?
The Lakers lost that game because LeBron was out there doing his job.
I've not paid any attention to the Lakers. I'm going to be honest.
Damn lie. You know you used
it's
to
Bulls
drive
Nation
down
over here, baby.
You used to drive down the 410 with you and your papa.
No, I saw LeBron come back from injury and he had like a 21-point game. And then he had a 39-point game because he's still in his prime.
Let me tell you something. I seen photos of Mike in a Lakers-colored car.
Erroneous.
It was yellow and purple.
Erroneous.
Lies are being told. There was lies being told from the beginning when we said we had a basketball game. But I digress. I hope to see y'all maybe Friday for the next showing of the All Net Podcast. Appreciate y'all checking in. You guys are great. Love the questions. Jordan Cruz, we love the
passion and the fire.
The fire and the passion. And
Damian, we appreciate your fandom too.
Yes. You checking in as well. Great question. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe. Until then, y'all know what the vibes are. Mike, hit him with the tagline.
Swish.
All net.